Yo, what's happening everybody, King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new Go Bat Like video. Today I'm going to be showcasing another team in the Little Cup, and you're going to see this looks very familiar to yesterday's video, but as I mentioned in the video yesterday, we are going to be switching up the grass type in the back, and we're going to be using Chespin today. Now, why would I want to use Chespin over Bulbasaur? Well, for two main reasons. Number one, Bulbasaur has the poison typing, which is a benefit at times, of course with that hard-hitting Sludge Bomb, but it's also a huge disadvantage whenever opponents are running the Confusion users, which you guys will see quite often in this cup. Of course, Bulbasaur is quite good with the poison typing, because it basically resists all of the charm usage as well. So Chespin does a little bit worse, definitely, against things like Cottony, and yeah, generally like the poison typing can be very helpful. But I found yesterday that I was just getting Confusion down, and my only real answer to them, you know, apart from of course Ducklett, which just gets Confusion down as well, was Chikorita. And in the safe swap position, you're not always going to have a ton of health on Chikorita to potentially deal with those. So you're seeing in this very first match here, we do have another Confusion user. The opponent comes in here. I think this is just a Bubble Beam. I'm probably just, you know, shielding this just for the sake of shielding it at this point. I was thinking it was a Bubble Beam, but of course, I wasn't 100% sure. I thought it could have been an Aurelius potentially. In comes Cottony, and you're going to see right here, this is where Bulbasaur is slightly better. I can look to one-shot this Pokemon, and this thing is on Razor Leaf here, so this is perfectly fine at this point. Chespin hits like an absolute truck. It wins CMP against most things in this league, so that is one little benefit of Chespin. And the one thing I do like about Chespin is, of course, it is more spammy with the body slams, and it is a Pokemon that can potentially flip the match against a Vulpix with Vine Whip head starts, depending on IVs and depending on if the Vulpix is Shadow or not. So it's kind of like another sort of, it's like running two Chikoritas basically. The opponent comes in with a very interesting pick here, and they're coming in with Skrelp. I could have went for the Seed Bomb, or sorry, the Grass Knot, but yeah, I just decided to go for this, and I think I can farm them down. Now, I'm expecting them to get off one move here, and it will be the Sludge Bomb. I was thinking the opponent's going to shield it anyway, so I'd rather just farm them down, shield once, farm down, and just take a switch advantage. And Chikorita, of course, will come back in, and we can look to spam off 2 or 3 body slams. Anyway, guys, welcome to the video. I'm going to be doing some more Ultra League content this week as well. This is my second Little Cup video of the week. Again, just let me know if you're more interested in Ultra League or Little Cup. Drop a like in the video, it helps it an absolute ton. I think most content creators this week will be doing Ultra League, but I do want to do some Little Cup content. So I started off the day, I'll give you guys a story. Here's story time. Yeah, this is the story behind what happened today, basically, right? So I went overall 14 out of 25, and with this team, why do I not think about these things beforehand? In this video, you're going to see me going 5-4 and 4-1. So I was actually going 0-4. I was using Litwick in the back, and I just get hard countered like crazy. Like, I got badly hard countered with Litwick. I just kept getting in a position where it was up against Chinchu or Ducklett, and it was just not working well. I went 0-4 straight away, and I finished the last game of that set with this team. Won that match. In the next set I went 4-1, and then the following set I went 5-0. I did a couple of more sets afterwards while not recording, and I went 2-3. The biggest sort of core breakers for this team here, things like Pharaoh Seed can be a little bit awkward. So we have an interesting lead here. We're just going to fire off the Brave Bird. I've decided to change up my strategy a little bit today. I'm just YOLOing Brave Birds here. In comes the Cottony, and we're going to go straight for the Grass Knot. Actually, no, we're not. We probably should go for the Grass Knot. The opponent knows they can survive this move, so they can let it go. We'll see what they decide to do. But at this point, I'm ahead in energy, so I can look to basically shield through this match a little bit. I think, like, I probably should want to land one move, but I just decided to call a bait, and it is just the Bubble Beam. I'm going to fire off another Body Slam. That's probably why the opponent shielded up the first one, to minimize the amount of damage they take. They'll most likely let the second one go. They do shield twice, so I think that's a bit of a mistake by the opponent, because I do have residual energy on Ducklett, and at this point we're just going to shield whatever they throw. I'm thinking they're probably throwing another Bubble Beam, but you know, whatever, like, I'm gonna one-shot you anyway, buddy. You're getting off one move, like, what are you doing? These opponents just love baiting, even in any scenario, like, even if they can get off one move, they're still baiting, like, what's the point? But anyway, we're YOLOing off the Brave Bird. In comes Chinchu, and this thing, it's going to like throw a Bubble Beam at me for some reason here. Good games to the opponent here. Bubble Beam coming through, and we're going to look to go for a Seed Bomb unless the opponent top left. They're playing it out to the bitter end. They're trying to really get the most out of these battles here, and you know, try to kill a little bit of time, I suppose. But Chespin coming in and sweeping the game. Like I said, this Pokemon, it's got a very high attack stat, and yeah, it's quite a good Pokemon. I did like it. Again, I noticed that Cottony was a little bit rougher, but not getting Confusion down was amazing. In comes a Vulpix lead. Now, I'm not too sure what the best way is to play this. The opponent comes in with Wooper, so I go for a huge overfarm here. I'm farming up to over a Brave Bird, just to make sure that I can fire off multiple moves on it. We're going to come into Chikorita, and the opponent does not top left here. Okay, they're on 7, they could have thrown the move. Now they top left. So the opponent was just like, oh my goodness, like I'm just getting RPS'd here. Good games. It's hard to really say good games because I just completely RPS'd that opponent. But we're going to hop into the next one. Like I said, I went 0-4, and actually yesterday I went 1-4 in my final set. So we're sort of due a couple of good sets here, hopefully. And Zim coming through here, in comes Wooper. Really positive lead. Again, I can just stay in here, eat a body slam, YOLO a Brave Bird off. Like, you know, I can just do whatever I want here at this point. What I like to do is just YOLO off the Brave Bird. Farm up to 7 just before the second body slam, and then look to YOLO the Brave Bird, and then come in with Chikorita. That's generally what I like to do here. Take the shield and get ahead on energy. In comes this Pokemon. This Pokemon is difficult to deal with. This Pokemon is a core breaker for this team, because it resists all of the grass type moves, and even if I was running Bulbasaur with the poison move, Steel double resists poison, right? So like you're still getting single resisted moves. So you just have to do your best with this thing, unfortunately. Put it all on Ducklett for this one. So we'll see what we can do. And we have a misaligned timer as well, which is a little bit awkward. So we're going to come in here, try and farm this thing the whole way down. I'm actually running Bubble Beam this week. I'm sort of tempted to go back to Aurelius. I feel like Aurelius is a little bit more useful. The opponent's going to get off an Iron Head, which is resisted, but it would look to take me out. In comes this thing. We do manage to catch the Body Slam, so I'm pretty happy with that for sure. Body Slam coming through, and we're going to look to farm this thing the whole way down. The opponent has a ton of energy, so I will be forced to shield here. I'm really not forced to shield. I think I should be sheathing my shield for Ducklett, because what I'm predicting is now, at this point, as soon as I shielded it, I'm like, yo, what if there's a Ducklett in the back? And there it is. I was predicting that there might be a Chinchou, because on the team there's no Ducklett answer, so I was sort of thinking there has to be a Chinchou in the back, so I'll keep my grass type healthy, but no, it is Ducklett itself. So this team, like, it doesn't really make any sense, to be honest. Oh, well, I guess Wooper's the Chinchou answer. It barely makes any sense, to be fair. Like, there's no real Ducklett answer. Yeah, to be honest, like, Ducklett is the Ducklett answer here. This team doesn't really make sense. What I decided to do is Bubble Beam them there, just in case they're running Aurelius Bubble Beam. That was my only win condition, to try to survive that with 1 health. Anyway, hopping into the next one, Ducklett versus Ducklett. You're going to see this as a very common lead. We're going to just basically look to fire off a Brave Bird. Again, I've changed up my strategy today. I decided, you know what, I'm going to just change up the strategy for the video, try to land some nukes off the lead. I get that lag, so that means the opponent's shielded usually. And at this point, I'm like, whatever, bro, just, you know, for the Brave Bird, I'll come in and farm you down. I'm expecting the opponent to go for a bait here. They do go for the Brave Bird, and at this point, we're going to come in with Chikorita. The opponent is staying in here for a minute, and I wasn't too sure if this was going to be the Brave Bird. It is just the Bubble Beam. I think, you know, if I counted properly, that would have been a little bit better. Definitely, like, doing these battles here this morning at 6 AM, not counting the moves correctly. Just lying in bed playing these matches, so definitely a bit of a misplay by me here. I'm going to come in with this thing, just to make sure I can get off multiple moves. Throwing good timing in 7, and I'm hoping to get off, you know, 2 body slams on this Pokemon. I actually try to go for the move straight away there. The opponent throws 1 Charm and froze. Seed Bomb coming through, which even though resisted would probably take me out from that range. I don't think I'm going to just about get off 2 moves here, so this is going to be very, very close. The opponent does let that go, of course, because they have no shields. Can I farm this thing the whole way down? We do get the farm down, and we'll see what the opponent decides to come in with here. We're looking to be in a just terrible spot here, and in comes Wooper. Ladies and gents, we go for the overfarm just 1 before they get to the body slam. We fire off the grass knot, and we're going to see if we can take out the Ducklett. We have the body slam loaded, we overfarm just a little bit just to make sure this takes out. 1 more wing attack would take us out from this range, and ladies and gents, we one-shot it and take it out. Very good games, well played. And yeah, the opponent had just thumped off their energy, so I sort of knew that I was in a pretty comfortable enough position, and we did go 4-1 in that set. So like a bit of a, you know, like I said, alteration to the team from yesterday. I did notice that not getting confusion down was very, very good. I didn't see a lot of confusion users on this team. One huge core breaker for this team that I did find later on in the day was Salandit. It's pretty uncommon, but it is a bit of a core breaker. Now at this point here, look, we have 2 Pokemon that can deal with this, right? Like, ordinarily it's just Bulbasaur, or sorry, it's ordinarily just Chikorita that can really deal with this well. So I can just swap into Chikorita at this point, and like, even if they do, you know, somehow get this realigned later on, you know, my Chespin can deal with this Pokemon. I throw the move off straight away here because I'm really not expecting the shield. This will be terrible if the opponent shields it, but yeah, no, they let it go. So don't take that confusion damage. And in comes Chikorita. You go straight for the body slam, we're outpacing this thing, and if you throw the move straight away, you have a chance of denying the opponent energy. As you can see, that takes them into like 50% health, and I think I decide to let this here go. I think I can survive 1 more body slam, and I know they cannot farm me down. Can we get to it in time? We just about do. This is going to force the opponent's knockout, or force a shield, which is amazing. At this point, the opponent shields a low health Chikorita, and they're only going to get off one move here. I'm going to respect the grass knot. Yeah, Body Slam coming through. They're only getting off one move, not sure what that's about. I decided to go for a Brave Bird on this, a little bit unnecessary, but my thinking here is Brave Bird this, farm it down with Chespin, eat a Thunderbolt, and then look to just basically Body Slam the Chikorita. I knew the match was over, so like, I didn't really have to play super optimally there. They go for a Bubble Beam, which I'm not sure what that's all about, to be fair. We're going to look to fire off the move, but the opponent knows it's over, and the top left. Now, obviously in this video, you're seeing me win 10 out of 11 games, right? So I'm making this team look amazing. I did lose a lot of matches afterwards, and I do like to showcase losses, but this just so happened to be what I recorded, and that's the video. We get a Shadow Ducklett here. I decided to go straight for the Brave Bird once again. In my opinion, these are more inclined to shield because they're shadows. Like, even though it's one shots pretty much anyway, but the opponent lets it go. The opponent makes an amazing call for me, and in comes Wooper, and in comes Vulpix, and we're ahead by energy. And this is a matchup that you guys might have seen a few times. We're going to fire off these moves, and we're going to make sure the opponent does not see MPS, because we're ahead by 1 or 2 Vine Whips here, which means that we're able to outpace to the moves, and potentially take out this Vulpix. I'm going to go for this move straight away. I know they can't CMP on this occasion. They have to overfarm and try to CMP you while you've got like 2 Body Slams basically to manage that, to pull it off. We don't need to take switch here because it's not a Chinchu in the lead, and we can come in and just farm it down with Ducklett. At this point, we're going to commit to the whole farm down. 1 Body Slam will definitely hurt from Vulpix, but at this point we'll have a Brave Bird loaded, and that'll look to threaten basically everything that comes in, so even Chinchu that comes in would not appreciate this, and the opponent is shielded, of course. I probably could have went for Bubble Beam, but it's just so unnecessary. Now, the opponent's farmed up to back-to-back Body Slams, and you're about to see something that's amazing with this Pokemon. We win CMP over this thing, which is incredible. Not many things win CMP on this thing. And this thing has a very high attack stat, and Chespin's just, you know, wrecking it. That's one of the reasons, as a non-shadow, that it is potentially able to flip the Vulpix matchup, given like a 1 Vine Whip head start. It is very, very close. It's a little bit less consistent than the Chikorita one, but it can flip that match, which is amazing, and that's one of the reasons I have it on this team. In comes Seal, so it'll take them 15 turns to get to an Icy Wind. So if they throw before 15 turns, I know it's just an Aqua Tail. So they throw an Aqua Tail straight away, so I'm like, that is so weird. Throw that Aqua Tail, buddy. No worries, throw that Aqua Tail. We're going to overfarm a little bit here. Arguably, I could be looking to just fire off this Brave Bird first, and then come into Chikorita and just IPS, but the opponent lets it go. We're going to swap straight out. It is a Bulbasaur, and it is a Vulpix, and once again, we're seeing this situation where we're ahead on energy on this Vulpix, and if I really wanted to, I could take switch, but I know it's a Bulbasaur, I know I've got a Ducklett, I don't have to. I'm getting the Vine Whip breakpoint on this, so what I decide to do here is just farm this thing the whole way down. We're going to shield up absolutely everything, we're farming it the whole way down. We can just shield this up. They're in health range where they're not going to get to another move in time. Yep, so 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, so they would have just got to a Body Slam there, and at this point, guys, we've got almost 3 Body Slams for the Bulbasaur. 2 Body Slams will take this thing out, so they have to shield these up if they want to maintain some sort of health. If they don't shield this, Ducklett comes in and farms down, and I'm sure the opponent's aware of that. Their only hope is that I have a Chinchu in the back, or something that's super weak to Bulbasaur. But that's not going to happen for them, unfortunately. You can see that gets them into like 50% health, and the opponent actually has to throw a move. We're about to reach yet another Body Slam, so at this stage, this is absolutely fine. Seed Bomb coming through. We're going to come in with Ducklett, force the opponent to throw energy, and yeah, at this point, they're just completely dry. We've got a Chespin in the back, just waiting to come in and get this farm down. It'll take them 7 turns, or well, 14 turns, 7 2-turn fast moves to get to the Sludge Bomb. And of course, that's not going to happen. So good games, very well played. That's what I love about these 2 grass types. They can flip that matchup. Now, Ducklett coming in, again, I think we're just going to YOLO the Brave Bird. I am so unlucky with this Brave Bird matchup, honestly, because, like, opponents seem to be calling me no matter what I do. Yesterday, I was going straight Bubble Beam, people were calling it. Today, I'm going straight Brave Bird. People were calling it most of the time, but not this time. The opponent decides to basically fire off the move, and I decide, okay, at this point, I'm going to call it as well. Brave Bird coming through. That's like the one negative thing about getting that off. Now, again, if the opponent comes in with a Vulpix, we will be ahead by 1 Vine Whip, which is always super important, but it does come in with a Cottony. And again, Cottony is a little bit more awkward with this team now, because we don't have that poison subtyping on the final Pokemon. So it is a little bit more awkward, and it really just depends on what the opponent has in the back here. So yep, Body Slam number 2 coming through. I think they're going to farm me down before I get to another move, and in comes the Chinchu. Now at this point, folks, we're just going to go for Body Slams. We're going to spam these off, see what the opponent wants to do. The opponent actually, strangely enough, lets that go. It's like, oh, it's just a Body Slam. Let me just let that go. I'm like, alright, buddy, no worries. No worries, let me just farm you down. Let me just shield up all your Bubble Beams and farm you down. I'm like, alright, no worries, dude. We're getting extra energy. This is just a Bubble Beam, so let this one go. And yeah, at this point, the opponent's just super low. I probably could commit to a farm down, but I think it will get to free moves in time, so we decided to just throw these off in good timing. We're definitely going to get to another body slam, and at this point it's going to be a good game. Even if I don't get to it, I should be able to farm them down in time. But yeah, we do get it. GG's. Actually, that farm down might have been a little bit difficult, because these charms really add up super quickly, and good game to the opponent. Like I said, it's a little bit more awkward without the poison type in the back. But, you know, the Seed Bomb nerf on Bulbasaur, it just hurts it quite a lot in my opinion, you know, on top of having all of the confusion users. So I feel like Chespin was very successful in this role today as the kind of sweeping grass type in this team. And I love that just sort of, you know, more neutral coverage that it has, and the faster spamming moves. So battle starting, I'll go 7777. I've played this guy before, and this guy just absolutely loves baiting. I seem to remember this guy just baiting crazily every single time. Now I'm going to YOLO the Brave Bird here. Usually whenever Pokemon swap in, they don't like to get nuked as soon as they swap in, so I am expecting a shield here, but I am also expecting the opponent to go for Bubble Beam bait. Let's see what he decides to do here. I'm not expecting a Brave Bird here. I've played this guy before, and I remember that he just baits everything. He goes for the move straight away again. I'm like, yep, this is a Bubble Beam, buddy. It's now 7 AM. I'm waking up a little bit here, pal. I'm actually counting. So we go for another Brave Bird. The opponent's in just such a bad spot. They're down 2 shields. We insta-swap into Chikorita here at this point. And, you know, at this point, I'll just go for the CMP. I'm thinking that this one Body Slam will be very close to taking out. Hopefully it does before they get off the Brave Bird. And ladies and gents, we're up 2 shields. In comes Bulbasaur, and the opponent's in just such a bad position now. We outpace these Body Slams, as you've seen before. One Body Slam puts them really deep into the yellow, especially because this one's a Shadow. And at this point, we've basically just won this game. I shield this up because why not at this point? Oh, Seed Bomb, wow. Amazing bait, like you're only going to get to one move, pal. You might as well just throw the hard-hitting move. This algorithm guy, this guy's blaming the algorithm, but he's just baiting everything. And in comes Chinchu. Good games, well played. And yeah, you know, just sometimes you just have to look at yourself and say, you know, maybe I shouldn't be baiting so much. But I'm just trolling, that guy's definitely getting algorithmed, but thank you very much everybody, have a fantastic rest of your day, hope you enjoyed. I should have an Ultra League video coming out tomorrow. Big shout out to Star-Lord. Guys, please send me in some Ultra League videos this week, I do need some help with these. And thank you very much for all the support in the videos, have a fantastic rest of your day. We're up to 2280, and I'll catch you all next time.